welcome to another episode of the Mindless Show. Do mind the air conditioner, it is like 30 degrees today, welcome to fucking Australia. If you guys just get annoyed by it, then fuck you. Gotta be honest. I am your host, Mr. Mindless, and today we're talking about porn. Yeah. This might be either a two-parter or it might be a double feature, I don't remember. If it is, it'll have different guests in the second episode, or second part. I don't know, it might just be the one episode, we don't know. It's planned. Alright, first guest is Janice. And our second guest is Schmidlab.
Oh, okay, you want to sit in the center line?
Yeah, it's a nice spot to sit in.
Yeah. What's any different from the previous episodes that we totally didn't just film? Shut up. We don't film episodes in the same way. What are you talking about? What is this correlation you speak of? The better than having someone else to tell him to go shut up.
Yeah.
Right. So, alright, so we'll watch porn here, right?
That's a good. This guy's like.
Literally when I came up with the episode name, I'm like, I'm not asked as the first question.
Do it.
We'll watch porn, yeah. Well, even if we haven't, let's just act it like we all have.
Yeah, sure. That's the real issue.
That makes it more anecdotal, right? Yeah.
I mean, what is porn?
I mean, I haven't watched it, but I've been in it. Does that count? I mean, I don't know. Have you watched this show? There are some really gay moments on this show, which is kind of, not saying that that's a bad thing, but more because like there's no moments where you've had like a girl and like people have like specifically like being like, oh, I hate it or anything. Actually, maybe technically in the second season, just about.
You don't talk about the second season.
Okay, so then maybe it was a bit more gayish. I'd say that. Yeah.
This show is not somewhere I go to like meet up with the sorts of people.
I find that. So porn, God, so much to talk about.
What is porn?
It's profitable.
Yeah.
That's 90% of the internet, and 90% of Tumblr.
Yeah.
That's true.
The other 10% is SJWs.
Then there's that like one Christian lady. Never a man, always a lady.
Okay. Reminded to myself in the future, do a religion topic of the Mindless Show, shit all over it. Alright, so porn. I'm trying to think of all the different things that we could talk about, but like, I don't know if you guys actually watch porn or not. But like, do you guys know anything about like how like different? I'm gonna reference just one porn site, which is Pornhub.
It seems to be the most popular.
It's one of the most popular, and it's the one like I actually know the most of because I don't watch porn. Maybe I watch porn often, maybe I don't. Do I want to be honest about it? I really don't want to be honest about it. It's one of those things like, do you really want to be honest about watching porn? I'm like everyone's done it at some stage in their life. I mean, if you want to consider fucking Game of Thrones as porn, then
Game of Thrones is definitely considered at least softcore pornography.
yeah. So it's like, you know, yeah. So let's just say to an aspect, like we've all maybe somehow watched porn. So it makes me consider, what's your favorite type of porn?
Right.
I mean,
He just asked that.
yeah. No, it's not. It's a weird question. I just think I go to different genres of porn depending on what I feel like.
There are people. I think I've
I'm
met people
gonna say what he said.
Yeah, I've met people who have talked to others who've been like, you can't really like. You could say like, oh yeah, I watch porn, but you're not gonna say like, oh, I watch this kind of porn because maybe it might turn the other person off. Like whether they're actually your like a partner in a relationship or you're a friend.
There are some people who might be turned off just by the existence of. Just by people watching porn.
Yeah,
like I went on a date with this dude, right? And he was like, he got really disgusted by the fact that I was like, oh yeah, I have watched porn once. And he was like, and I was like, I didn't see what the big deal was, but he was clearly really.
Yeah, well, I was doing. So I had a thing of a girl a while back, and it even goes to the conversation where. I'd mentioned that I watch porn, and she was just like, I don't get the benefits of porn because I know people who just don't purely get the benefits of porn. I mean, I know even asexual people who don't get the benefits, don't understand the benefits of sex. I'm like, why? Why? Stella. No, I don't know why I just quoted that. That's not in porn. But yeah, I don't know. There's so many different things. It even gets to the aspect of like, say when you're on a porn site, for example, and like you go through the categories, the countless fucking categories of all the different ones. There are a lot of categories.
Yes,
It's
there are.
somewhat disturbing. Yet we're always going to go with the black guy, fucking white girl. Let's be honest here.
BBC. Great British broadcasting corporation. It was also because Pornhub was so popular. A bunch of people spawned a parody site called Pornhub.
Yeah, that's really good.
With the BBC again.
Yes, yes.
Well, I don't know where they get black corn. Is that like
Corn is
purple carrots?
Hangs on corn, to be honest.
Food diet or maybe genetic engineering, but like
Yeah.
that'd be a lot of effort for just a parody website.
Yeah. Healthy porn always features vegetables.
I got to mention with porn I guess the fakeness to us.
Oh yeah.
Because if you've ever watched porn,
that's
you're
something
going to
everyone
notice
can
at some
attach
stage,
to.
like, the only parts that you don't expect, like that you don't really think are fake. And I even had a friend who said, like, if you ever watch a porn that you don't think is fake, send it to me and I'll actually tell you if this girl is having a fake orgasm, or if this guy is faking, or if this whole entire thing feels fake.
Fake, yeah.
And like I'm like, okay, I never did. So I'm like, I'm not gonna send you porn via Facebook. No, I don't want to get kicked off Facebook. Even though I don't like that I have Facebook, but still. But like it just even people who fucking hack people's accounts just to post porn. What do you get out of it? Nothing.
Yeah.
It's advertising, isn't it? Like to be blunt, that's what it's supposed to be.
No, but like people who hack onto people's accounts.
Oh.
Just post
Oh,
porn.
no,
Oh, like not like a random hacker, like someone that you know who's
Yes.
trying to do something malicious.
But
Oh, okay.
if they were sharing porn off certain accounts,
Yeah, because I had a friend
that would be
whose account was hacked, and they found out because like in the middle of class, they got
Oh,
a phone
yeah.
call from their parents saying, "Have you been on Facebook lately? Your account has been hacked, and you've got like someone's posting porn." And so that's why you don't log into school computers on your fucking Facebook.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Facebook wasn't blocked at your school?
It wasn't blocked until
for a
year
time.
12
For a time.
us.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
You're lucky.
I think it was blocked for like maybe like for a couple of for a bit there it was, but you could always find an alternative route into it.
Yeah.
And then it was actually open because they just didn't really give a shit. You could watch YouTube or whatever, and then they blocked. I think they blocked both.
No, they unblocked YouTube for a time because they wanted, but then they found out it was using up all the school's bandwidth, so they just got rid of it completely.
We use iPads, so we weren't allowed Facebook or I think any social media, but we were allowed YouTube, so that was okay.
Oh, okay.
And there were people that would stream in the middle of class and stuff.
The amount of times I fucking have a guy who just brought in his tablet and just playing video games in class in year 12. I'm like, seriously? You wonder why you're not doing good at English. You're playing fucking video games.
The guy brought in his PSP
Oh my
and freaking,
god. Yeah.
freaking.
But back to the great subject at hand.
There's that porn video that everyone liked on Facebook just because I had a really fake opening. You know that one that was like the lifeguard?
That's pretty funny, yeah.
The lifeguard, because it's so funny.
I actually don't think I've seen that because I think I've seen a lot of like images and like people are like posting videos on Facebook or like or on the internet or images that like either screenshots or the beginning like screenshots from porn that don't actually have any genitalia show or whatever. And it's like say like a guy like taking up the ass or some kind of stuff like and he's like see this image and it becomes a meme.
Yeah, like when you're squinting really hard to see the blackboard and stuff like that.
And like, someone always comments, "Is this from porn?" And like, it's like, "Oh yeah, I remember this one," or some shit like that. And then someone always posts like the fucking intro scene to a porno before they start actually like making out, or it just randomly fades to the girl sucking the guy's dick or some shit like that, you know?
Because the intro scenes are always really like, they're really terribly written. Basically all of them.
Yeah.
Always in
and
the
they're
same house.
so funny. Like, if you take it in a way that's like, you realize how terrible it is so funny.
Yeah.
And that's why people like.
At the same time, it's such a turn off. At the same time, like, you watch, it's like, for someone like me who loves film and loves and can tell the difference between bad and good acting, because of like I've watched so much so much porn, I know what bad acting is. But like it just gets to the aspect where you watch it and it's like, this is really turning off. I'm just gonna skip this. Like, and then sometimes like they say something like this, like say the girl says the guy calls him daddy or stuff like that. And, like, are they just is she just saying that because it's a sex thing, or is this like a stepdad type video? Or, like I'm gonna rewind to get the story again, and then I get turned off again because it's just
when you watch porn for the story.
Yeah. Always the best part. I mean, some stories are pretty good. Yeah. Fucking parody porn videos, Game of Thrones parody porn,
Harry Potter.
like Harry Potter,
Well,
DC, anything DC
Overwatch and
comics.
Call of Duty parody porn exists.
Yeah, even to the aspect of it's actually literal hentai. Yep, the tag in this video is Overwatch hentai. We did it. High five, we've done our jobs.
Well, I didn't know.
You need that classic Vine where the guy's like, there's this kid who's watching like first-person shooters on his computer. His dad walks in and he's like, "Oh, hey son, you're watching one of those hentais?" He's like, "This is a let's play." Like, what the hell is hentai? And he types it in Google.
Oh god, I mean, it makes me question. What about kids who get?
Oh, yeah, kids are getting
watch
porn. Kids are getting porn way too early these days.
Because I know someone who I'm definitely not going to mention who they are or if they're related to me or whatever. But I know someone who is like they're 10 and they've already started sending naked pictures to another person.
Whoa, yep, no, that's
Same
definitely
age as
okay. If it's the same age, it's fine. Anyone older, it's like
No,
that's illegal. That's freaking illegal.
No, it's not anything like that. Like it's in legal limits to that aspect of like they're the same age, but also it's like
Yeah.
they shouldn't be sending this kind of
Isn't
stuff.
like-
How do they know this?
Isn't it legal, like the lowest age that you were legally allowed to have sex in Victoria? Oh, you're gonna have to bleep that 12.
No, no, we can say
I
Victoria.
don't say.
People know
Okay.
we live in Victoria. We live in Victoria.
People probably know we live here.
Don't worry.
We
don't-
live here.
We don't live in those This isn't set in Bundoora or Reservoir. It's okay.
I mean, you're lucky
or
then.
Frankston or South
Reservoir.
We're not in Mildura right now.
We're in Ballarat because that's the only place people know in Victoria, right? Yeah, there's gold mining right there. But no, this is like the people who like I think it's like 13 where you can actually legally like actually have sex.
Yeah.
Even though
But
people,
Like,
parents,
what kind of parents would encourage that? Seriously.
I don't think parents do. Like, I was, again,
I-
throwing back to the Louis C.K. thing I was watching the other day. This connects this episode with fucking censored episode, whatever we called it. There was a specific thing where he's talking about where because he's a dad and like he's in his 40s, so he's saying how like he's going to like his daughters have gone to an age like where one of them is 13, and it's just like. He's met other dads who are just like freaking out because like I was like, oh my daughter can legally have sex now and that kind of stuff. I was like, what do I do? And it's just like, don't do anything.
Yeah,
Just,
Yeah.
You don't do anything. Just
if you find out they're having sex, just make sure like they like just.
Make sure it's-
again,
make sure it's safe.
his joke was to just still ignore it, just to pretend it's not happening. Even though of course in reality what you do is of course you make sure it's safe sex and that kind of stuff. But like what about kids who watch porn at such a young age?
Well,
It's just.
I'm assuming that when you go through puberty, that's generally there is a point of watching porn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before that, there is no it's not good
Biological.
film. It's not.
Yeah.
There is no other reason to watch it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if this kid went through puberty at 10, which I doubt,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
That sounds pretty
definitely
good.
has not gone through puberty at 10.
well, there you go. Then
Yeah, it's
I
just
don't-
it's so weird. It's just like is this being like I don't know. It's such a weird thing. Like because that's why the parents were like, do these kids even know what they're doing?
well,
Yeah.
no, they don't. They just
No.
see other people who do it,
Yeah.
who potentially have a high social status, and that's how people are going to imitate them because if you have a higher social status, that's generally indicating you're doing well. You are doing something which society approves of, and people would like to emulate you because of that.
Yeah.
And people are going to do stuff, and if you're doing stuff, then people are going to emulate that. So.
I just realized we don't have favorite. I didn't just realize I'm like
Okay.
he's a guy I haven't seen him since primary school, maybe maybe year 7.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's just he doesn't have long hair anymore, so trying to smell like.
I'm no longer a lesbian.
You. Okay.
Do you still mark traffic?
I don't like traffic either. I'm a real boy
Wait,
now.
were you the guy who I've heard stories about a kid from your school who watched cars go past?
Yes, that was me. I'm
wow.
amazing.
In
Thank
the
you.
flesh.
Yes.
Wow.
You made-
Now I have real hobbies. Who knew?
It's like,
Why did you
now,
do that?
now I
It was really interesting to be fair.
now I use a telescope and look at planes. I'm like,
No, now I just
that's
try
Tiger
to.
Air. That'll crash in 2 years. Back to porn.
That's the second time.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like, meanwhile in porn.
Some people would prefer to have their backs to porn and not watch it.
It just makes like this.
One really easy way of finding porn, dude, just go on Tumblr and search stuff. Like,
Oh,
actually,
Tumblr's
don't
fine.
do that though, because like, I'm just like, oh, look up Street Fighter pictures. Don't. Don't.
Overwatch, most likely to make sexy
Yeah,
images.
don't look up that either. You'll just,
Yeah,
it just gets so
that's
bad so
mental.
quickly.
I've
It's-
definitely seen Overwatch porn on Tumblr.
Yeah,
just
I
putting
most
that out
likely
there.
have as well. I haven't gone Tumblr for a while, but
Yeah.
I've most likely seen Overwatch hentai.
You're not even looking for it. It just happens. It's like surprise Overwatch.
It's like this what do you call it? Funhouse. They do a series called Demo Disc, and at the end or during each episode of Demo Disc, they usually talk about a particular topic, usually of random. Sometimes it's to do with an animated TV show that you would have watched in the 90s or some shit like that, so like Kim Possible, and they just happen to.
Kim Possible's not
and they-
90s. Kim Possible is not a 90s TV show.
Well, I'm
It's
just
early
saying.
2000s.
Still, I'm just saying as an example of the TV show.
See, that's the 90s kids that are trying to claim your childhood for their own because it's so bad for them.
They're talking about this stuff, and then they end up going on Rule 34 later on the episode, filming it. But the thing is, they obviously pixelate like all the graphic stuff, and then use like the most graphic images and use that in the thumbnail. And like obviously they don't have anything graphic, they have like certain things covering graphic stuff and stuff. So like you might have like a picture of like say Harley Quinn like having a drawn orgasm of some kind, and then like. But like the bottom half of her where something has been inserted, whatever it is just a picture of some other person.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's just
to cover up the bits.
Yeah, like there were so many people who, like another thing with Funhouse, and like I really enjoy their channel, but I've noticed a lot of things with their videos is that sometimes they title them specifically like clickbaity type titles, like best porn of 2016 for example. The thing is, sometimes even when they do that, they actually still talk about that stuff in the episode.
Yeah.
So is it clickbait or is it not? I think to a level it's clickbait.
It depends.
But I think because they're still talking about it, so it's still kind of relevant.
I would say, like, say it's a 10-minute video and they focus on the best porn of 2016 for 1 minute. That's a bit clickbaity, really.
It kind of is, yeah.
But if they're having a good chunk of the episode and it's the most interesting or relevant part of the episode, then they can go for it.
Yes, definitely. What else? I can't get it out of my head just children watching porn for some reason.
Yeah, that's
Mainly
just-
because I try to remember like when was like the first time, for example, like say I watched porn, and I know a friend. And this definitely is not me. So many anecdotal shit on this show that I say of another person. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's not. You got to guess. If you get it right, that's just going to be scar on your memory, not mine. But there is this person I know who actually had a DS, and this is back when DSs just started connecting to the internet.
DSIs.
Yeah, I think it was DSi, yes. And they actually, what they did was they looked up porn on the DSi, but I didn't ask like
Such a
why
weird
they did it.
device to look it up
But
on.
yeah, it was so weird. Like, of course, they couldn't actually watch. They did say they can't actually watch videos because they didn't have that kind of equipment. All you could do was watch images or sometimes GIFs or GIFs or whatever. Fucking pronouns. Who cares? Talk about porn here, people. Focus. But yeah, I just find it weird. Like, there's so many different mechanisms as to how people can watch porn these days. I mean, it's so much easier now because like, do you want to watch porn? I've got my favorite one on my favorites menu in fucking Safari.
Oh, Safari, really?
Or I go on Snapchat and I follow like all these porn stars or like Pornhub official or some crap like that. Like you could just so easily do that, and it's disturbing, but at the same time it's like. But at the same time I might be like, but it's easy.
Yeah.
Easy access to porn. It's copious amounts of free porn.
Or even paid porn.
Or even paid
Why
porn.
would we bother?
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking, if you can't afford internet, watch HBO. Yeah, I mean, most of their shows have sex in it. Most of them. There's a fucking sketch video on, I think Crack did it. It was a hiring thing for, they're trying to choose which show that they do for HBO, and there's this guy talking about like, it's a very religious show about this priest and it's nun and all this kind of stuff, and the people that are like, does it have sex? Does it have nudity? Like, and the guy's like, no, because it's a religious show. And the guy's like, well, maybe the nun is having second thoughts, or maybe she is lusting over a priest or that kind of stuff. I'm like, just trying to manipulate to have some kind of sexual identity. I'm like, all right, fine, if you want to do that. Okay.
I mean, it's a bad idea to create it when there is none to begin with.
Yes.
It's too artificial. I think.
Obscure forms of pornography.
Or hentai.
hentai is one of them.
Is that
Even
true?
though I don't think
Hentai is like, if we were to say of the 90% of porn that is on the internet.
Yeah. Well, 90% of the internet.
No,
That is,
yeah. Of that,
Nice.
there would be it'd be less than 10% that would be hentai
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, probably.
I think hentai. Well, the thing is, that there's even like countries, say like Asian countries, mainly Japan, for example, that can't show like phallic imagery, or like to a level of that's why they have tentacle porn because they're not allowed to show penises.
It is represented a different way to show penetration.
Well, they just have to
Yeah.
censor it heavily.
Yeah, and then there's
Censor
Lena and
heavily by
Chen
having a
who just
bar.
says penises out loud.
Yeah.
So they pixelate it.
No, the traditional Japanese censorship of penis, I know this stuff, is just a bar through the
Yes,
the
yes,
head.
that's
Yeah.
A bar through the head.
Not through, just like
through the head.
No,
Yeah.
like-
yeah, through the tip of the penis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Through the head. Yeah.
It wasn't. It's not like full. Like they've actually shoved the bar.
Yeah.
That would be
I
fun.
mean,
it's like
it's
a black bar.
It depends on what you're censoring and where.
Yeah.
if you've ever read manga that has somewhat R18 material, it does the same thing. They just have an image of, like, say, a dick, whether it's ejaculating or not, or even if it's inside the person. They literally graphically show what it looks like inside the person. That might not be legitimate, but like, it's so weird how they do it. Yeah, they still have that black bar on top of it. Weird sense.
I think in Japan they'd still be selling porn printed, you know, because like people don't like Playboy magazines anymore. But I'm pretty sure in Japan they still make, they print hentai still. Because they're crazy about manga.
They have certain sex toys which they're like they don't have like dildo type stuff in those kind of countries like that, like a band, that kind of stuff. Like instead they have sex toys which I noticed because someone bought one for me.
Wait, what?
As a joke for my birthday.
What?
Sounds great, honestly.
There's pretty much
Anyone we know?
Uh,
You didn't need to tell me the.
He was at a Japanese. It's bleed down post. Don't worry. So he was at a like a few $2 store, and so you can find this egg hunt. And so these eggs,
I do know this.
open them up, and it's got like a very kind of gooey. I don't really know how to describe it, but yeah, it's like a kind of gel kind of created thing, but like it's not like slippery or anything. It's just like it's just a thing. And so on the inside of it, obviously, so it comes with obviously lubricant, and it even comes with an instruction manual in Japanese or whatever language it's in, definitely in English. But the idea is that if you actually turn it inside out, it actually has the design, and of course on the egg it actually shows you like what the design is, whether it be rippled or it has like dots or something like that. There's always going to be some kind of design which gives you some different form of pleasure. And you can all you legitimately do is you lube it up just a bit or however much you want to, and then you literally just put it on and just jack off with it. And it's because it can elongate as well.
Because it's stretching.
Yeah, because it stretches.
I've seen a video.
I had to actually watch like an actual video explaining what this thing can do because I did not understand it when I got it, and I was just like, okay.
Do an
But then
unboxing.
they also
Where's the unboxing video?
unboxing, and they showed they showed you different.
Wait. What's the video you watched? Was some guy actually showing you how to use it? Like demonstration?
Yeah, it was a demonstration, but like
Oh,
like,
wow.
like a cucumber kind of thing.
Okay.
It was like because like they have heaps of demonstrations of like condoms and shit on YouTube.
Bananas
It's just
and
on
stuff.
bananas and whatever. On bananas and pajamas. Yeah, like, that's cool, right? But like it's just weird how like they actually show you this kind of stuff. But then again, these sex toys are actually legitimate things that they use, and how convenient that even though that they're only one-purpose things, so you're only meant to use it once, that it comes in a carton of like 6 to 8. So I was like, it's weird. Like I don't know whether it's convenient. Or not. Just imagine just going to the store, picking the one of them up, and just buying them. I'm like, I feel like it'll be as awkward as buying condoms. I mean, I even saw a video the other day, which was a guy at a store, and he looked at the condoms, and they're like XL, or they were really like high brand or whatever. And he's like, haha, they don't work. Turns to a shopping cart, has a baby on it, and the baby's just there smiling at him, and it's like, this is so perfect. Someone commented saying that, yeah, probably because your dick's too small. He
if you had XL, you set it up.
He set it up, so I mean, like, you gotta be honest there. But yeah, it's just, there are very obscure forms of porn, and even with sex toys and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's just so weird. Like I know people who openly talk about sex and how they've had sex with a plenitude of people and all kind of stuff, and they don't give a shit about it because obviously they've had sex they don't. It's not like it's something to brag about. You know, I know people who have had sex who are embarrassed to talk about it because their experiences weren't great or whatever, and they just feel awkward talking about it. And so then, of course, you talk about porn. It's like, can it be considered to the same level? Like, can sex be considered the same level as porn?
No.
But I think it's because porn
different
is
things.
somewhat more embarrassing to talk about because it's like you don't want people to know that you've watched porn because it's like one of those things. It's like you've watched porn. What's wrong with you? Like that's like where we say from a feminist point of view, for example, it's against women and all kinds of stuff. Like
Depends on what you're watching.
yeah, exactly.
You got a porn that's pro women.
Yeah, there's women. There's a for women section. On
yeah.
Yeah.
There was something on. There was a Vice article or something. I don't know. Maybe it was SBS. They were talking about
A special. Porn.
Yeah. They were talking about this person in the US who had created a company, a porn company, which directed more towards women and more ethical pornography, as opposed to everything else. So it's not like it's impossible to have view pornography that is ethical. It's just the products that we have right now aren't as much. It's like buying like a chicken, like free-range chicken, even though not all free-range chickens are still ethical, but compared to just like a battery hand.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you could kind of put it. It's food is food, porn is porn, but there's different types of it. It's like even porn can go. It can be just a generic thing of a guy and a girl, poorly writtenly meet up and then they fuck. It could simply be that, or it could be a guy ties this girl up and fucking whips her for half an hour and you're meant to get off that. Fetishism.
Some people do.
Or it could be see, the problem with saying that, in my opinion, with saying that is sexist is the reverse must also therefore be sexist. And there is the reverse on the internet.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's not inherent. It's not. It may be sexist, but it's not trying to be sexist and intend.
It could be.
Matters.
It could be like the audience-wise, of course, is what makes it question makes it sexist. But it's actually when you watch the video, it could be like maybe the girl's tied up because she wants to be tied up.
Yeah.
Maybe she's feeling pain because that turns her on. Maybe the guy is whipping her because it turns him on. You know, it could be vice versa. But usually, if you go into that kind of a BDSM kind of thing, both parties usually agree on it.
Yeah.
And have put structures around it to make sure that
Yeah.
nobody is going beyond their boundaries, etc.
Yeah, safe words and whatnot. Especially if it's porn. Like a lot of people will be like, "Who cares? You're getting paid."
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like you're getting paid to have sex. But it's like, but there's also the aspect of like, well, what are the acting to it? Like, because there may be like the shitty acting. No, but that's the thing though. Because like people think of what acting in porn because you look at the scripted porn and there's really shitty acting. But then when you look at them actually fucking, and sometimes like I said, I had that friend who was like, I can determine if they're actually faking or not. It's because sometimes you can't tell if the person is actually acting to whether they're actually enjoying it. But like if you've ever watched, and I advise, if you can watch porn and you're not afraid to, and you're of age to watch porn.
18.
Depending
on your country, it's different.
Yes.
Don't do it in like the UAE or anything.
Yeah.
All those Arab countries, they don't like it.
There is, especially on Pornhub, there's a behind the scenes section.
Oh.
I found this out just recently.
Huh.
I was again just browsing for it because people watch porn, get over it. But then I was like, this is really weird because like of course I'm an aspiring filmmaker and I've always questioned like sometimes when I watch porn like I could film this differently or film that differently or like edit this differently or direct it differently. Definitely not act it differently. Never going to do that in my life. And I just find it, and like I watch these behind the scenes videos, and a lot of them are just like sometimes like people just taking photo shoots of these porn stars taking off their clothes solely, or like in sexual positions, or getting fucked, or in some kind of way like getting penetrated or whatever. But it's just the person taking pictures, but there's always someone filming it, so they're obviously allowed to film kind of like a documentary behind the scenes thing. But then when you actually watch them actually filming an actual porno, it's so weird because like you understand, say like a couch and you've got like this guy and a girl making out and like it's really intense between them, but then when you watch the behind the scenes, over here you've got a guy with a camera right up there, right at the junk. Look at dick and a vagina. Oh look, they're going inside each other. look at their faces, they're making up that kind of shit. It's so disturbing.
Yeah, it's a lot more, and it makes it a lot more sterile.
Yeah, and it also is so interesting. It's like, it's the most interesting thing about porn, watching behind the scenes.
The cameraman, they'd all be completely clothed.
But not just that, I actually noticed a kind of a bit of a trend. Most of them were pretty big guys, like as if like they're mostly, if you want to call them couch potatoes, like they're not fat guys, but I noticed that most of them were guys, like probably the makeup people when you like assume. That's probably a bit sexist of me to assume, but I'm going to assume at some stages there are women on set. I have seen some of them.
Yeah.
Other women that aren't doing getting fucked on set, but like they're most of these guys they're just wearing casual clothes. Like they could just be wearing cargo shorts and a t-shirt, and these two people will be completely naked, all these bright lights behind them, and be like, and the director like certain cuts at certain points, and it's like, all right, now you do this and this and this and this. Yeah. So like you think of every single point is amazing, like oh it's all natural because of how they're screwed, whatever. Then whether it be straight porn or gay porn in whatever way, there's always going to be an aspect to it of like, none of this is legit. It's all being scripted, it's all being planned, it's all being prepped for.
They put like 1,000 cuts in there, different angles,
and
different...
And like, it's one of those things where people say like, they don't realise that like you can watch a 5-minute porno that actually goes for 5 minutes, but what you don't realise is that either that's a preview that you don't realise, or that actually took a whole day to film. Because you've got to get the lighting right, you've got to make sure the guy is hard, you've got to make sure the girl has, energy to scream, or the guy has energy to scream. There's all these different aspects that actually make porn work, and still as an end result, it's still pretty boring. So no matter how much work they put into it, which they can get a fuck ton of money for. I mean, you look at the amount of porn stars who are like on Twitter and Snapchat and that kind of stuff, or on social media, and they are open about being porn stars and whatever. They go to the award ceremonies for porn. Award ceremonies. And
I mean,
it's just like,
really?
but like that's the thing. It's just like any other form of media in a way. It's just like as if the new people on the news, like the news reporters go to like the lawyers, that kind of thing. Like where it's a TV award for news channels, or a TV award for films, or it's a TV award for porn. There's so many different things. I just find it so interesting how like it's the one thing that's like hidden away from everything, but it's still the exact same as everything else. It just happens to be a lot more risque. It has probably a lot more swearing. It has a fuck ton of nudity. If not everything.
Really?
Who knew?
And obviously a lot of sex. And I just find it really, it's so interesting, all the behind the scenes, whether it's watching the video or the behind the scenes, or actually research the behind the scenes of actually porn stars and whatever, like they're so open and free to do whatever the hell they want. I mean, and yet we're still having arguments of I'm going to point on the feminist thing here because I saw it the other day, the whole like the free nipple thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like I have nothing against it, but nothing for it. I don't really care. Be a Marxist, equality for all.
I've seen this. Have you seen the people protesting? Free the nipple. They want to do a breast cancer awareness commercial. They can't show the breast, so they just get a really fat guy with man boobs, and
good.
They show how to check on this guy because they're allowed to show it. And that to me just seems so hypocritical that they can they can show a fat guy, but they can't show a woman.
Yeah, it's just I just find it so weird. Like, they've got this whole free nipple movement, and you're not allowed to show your nipples, and yet then there are people on social media who are actual porn stars paid to be naked in photo shoots on videos, and they're just putting the shit on social media. Usually the social media people like take it off, or like certain censor or whatever.
You just have to be careful of your, and generally you are, so it's no real problem.
Yeah. So it's just porn overall is an interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, it's a lot of people can see it's like it's wrong to watch, and it gives you wrong expectations of sex. It really does. Don't watch porn expecting this is what's going to happen. I mean,
the false expectations.
There won't be a lifeguard in your bathroom.
That's the one.
There won't be a sexy firefighter, or a pizza delivery man.
There won't be a shark in the water.
And even when you look at fucking amateur porn.
Well, that's just a person.
Amateur porn is bad porn.
Yeah, it's usually pretty shitty, but then at the same time you kind of feel like, is this more natural? Because it's usually just two people actually fucking, whether they're actually a couple or whatnot, and they just got a video camera there. Like, it's usually really shitty video work and really shitty audio work. I mean, watch an amateur porn video that has like they've been fucking for 3 minutes and the cat's right sitting there on the bed staring at them while they're fucking humping each other and you're just like, I don't want to jerk off to this while there's a cat in the frame. And they kick off the cat. It's just like so weird, but like it's just that kind of thing. And like I don't know. I feel like amateur porn is the more realistic porn, but at the same time, it's only realistic.
No porn is really realistic.
I think it's realistic to the aspect of sex in a way, but only somewhat. Like I don't think it's like 100%. I don't believe 100% that it is real sex, because most likely these people could just be doing amateur porn for the reason of whatever.
Maybe they like it. Like maybe it's their kink.
Yeah, exactly. Like and they realize, oh, I can make money off releasing this. You know. Yeah. That's also another thing to consider. People literally release naked sex videos of themselves on the internet. I still can't believe that's how Kim Kardashian got famous.
Yep.
Yeah. Alright.
It's a real strange world we live in.
Yes. So, anything else we want to talk about before we have stuff?
Worst porn is porn when you don't want it.
Yeah.
When you want porn and it's there, it's a great time. But when
unexpected porn.
Unexpected porn is the worst thing of all time.
Or just go outside and meet a guy or a girl or whatever you're into, a dog.
That might be a bit far.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Not in this country. Maybe like
Alright.
I'm pretty sure Germany made that illegal again.
Most likely, yes. I definitely
So in
remember.
Denmark, I think.
If you go outside, you're probably gonna see two pigeons fucking
But yeah, exactly. Like
on the right spot.
because sex is natural, so there's no need to be afraid of it. If you want to watch for positions wise, either maybe look up like a Kama Sutra or such
Kama
like that,
Sutra, yeah.
or go on porn and
I've heard of these websites. I'm not gonna ask about it.
But again, certain positions help certain people in different ways for even penetration and how much actually they get out of it. It's a whole bunch of shit towards sex.
Research your sex, kids.
Research it, yeah. And wear protection. And always remember Louis C.K. did say that he might fuck.
Good on him. No, that, I didn't mean that. That was sarcasm.
That wasn't what I said. It was again a joke in the show. He was saying how like would you consider screwing a no, like he did say of course he wouldn't, but like what if he just ran into a dead in a field? It's like, do you take your opportunity or not? Again, it's a joke because it's the kind of thing that he does. But yeah. So I'm going to leave you with that thought.
Yeah, let's leave it.
This is Janice, and this is John, and this is Janice John. This is Schmidlab. I'm Mr. Mindless. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm hoping that recognition is so loud that the entire footage will be lost.